being authentic and being real is what the investors are looking for.
I feel that you become successful when you really like find yourself and you fit in what you are.
Give the lady a prize. Find the me before you find the we. Don't try to get married or find a company to work or until you know who you are. Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box. Success comes with a lot of pressure, by the way. We were talking about how, like, I don't think I wanted to be successful before. I was scared to be because I thought I wasn't good enough. When you don't think you're really good enough, you think, oh, they're going to find out that I don't really have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are so courageous to be on a podcast at such a young age and just go live. Yeah, sure. Maybe it's a different age, but
thank you.
So Celeste, sorry, you're from Norway
Cecilia.
and an exchange student in Calabasas High School. First year as an exchange student.
Yes.
And before that, you were just in school in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then for you, this is your first year as an exchange student?
Yeah, it's my first year as an exchange student, but I actually have been here in California for like 2 weeks studying at UCSD for a computer course, but it was just a 2 weeks thing, so
Gotcha.
it wasn't like a real exchange year.
Yes.
That was the only thing I did, yeah.
Got it. Okay, so this year is it's a full year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
9 or 10 months, yeah.
Yeah.
10 months.
10 months.
That's so cool. Okay, cool. So that's what's interesting. So, I mean, my first, honestly, like what I'm curious about, I want to hear like who you guys are and interview each one and have like a one-on-one discussion and then together, however that plays out. Like, so whoever wants to go first. Or I can start with this. How about this? How about each of you start with this? How is it different? How is school and life and culture different in your home country versus like what you're experiencing here? Like the obvious question, but like that's interesting.
Okay, so like the biggest differences in school?
School, culture, country, whatever you think, whatever the takeaways are. Okay, think of it this way. I never went to high school anywhere but here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like I have a totally different, I would have loved to be an exchange student, by the way. That's why I'm so interested. Like I wish I had taken those exchange student programs or applied for them, but something kept me from doing, I don't know what, but you guys didn't. So I'm just think of from my perspective.
Okay.
Like how do you
I have an idea. Want to go first?
No, if you have an idea, tell me.
I was thinking about this exact thing yesterday night. I don't know why I couldn't sleep, so I was thinking about this. Is that it's a sign of God for me. So the biggest difference I'm feeling between Italy and like the school system in Italy or in the entire school system in Europe and the school system in the USA is that, for example, in Italy, when we study, we just study on books and we memorize a lot of stuff. We don't really like use that stuff in life.
Right.
Probably, yes, in the future, probably it's like all workout for our mind. Of course, I'm not saying that the Italian school system is not valid. It's extremely valid. But the biggest difference is that here, what I'm studying, I feel that I can touch my knowledge immediately. Like, I see what I study in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we have like a more theoretical approach to learning, where you guys have like a more practical approach to learning.
Wow.
So I think
that's insightful.
For example, a kid that went to an American high school, after just high school, could be ready to work. An Italian kid that just went to high school, of course, I'm not talking about every Italian person, every kid, but you need a little bit more.
You're going to be popular in Italy when you go back.
What?
You're going to be I said you're going to be popular in Italy when you go back.
What?
Like, here they're more ready to go. That's
yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Like in Italy, after high school,
basically our school system's better.
It depends.
In some ways,
it depends. If you're a person that likes to study and like maybe his dream is going to university and spend a lot of time on books, or if you're a person that loves knowledge, then you should go to an Italian school system because you really study.
Right.
If you're more a practical person, you like doing stuff, you like explore a little bit more.
Right. Group projects or more open thinking.
Then I will go to an American school system.
That is so insightful. because I hear what you're saying. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people would say, "Oh, the school system's better there because they're more strict." That's what most like. I come from like
that's true.
Ukraine, so everybody from there says it's so much better because we're learning calculus by the time we're in fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where here you're doing calculus as a senior, so they're like way advanced in terms of that, but they're not really as trained to be critical thinkers, open-minded, work in a group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or stand out, be creative. It's
I
not as
think
creative.
it's all about your personality.
Yeah.
Like, for example, even if I'm here, I really like the theoretical approach to study. I really like books, studying on books and knowledge. I really like knowledge. And so I fit in the Italian school system. But coming here, it's like seeing there's so much more going on. And this will help me so much with the theoretical approach to study. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I still know something
Both.
new.
Interesting. Yeah. That's really great that you see both sides though. Because you're saying, hey, that's great for theoretical. This is
Mm-hmm.
so Celeste, what do you think? What's been the biggest like difference for you?
I'm Cecilia.
Cecilia.
Yes.
I said Celeste.
It's okay. I'm Cecilia.
I'm so bad with names. I really am.
It's
Cecilia.
okay.
I'm so sorry. Should we edit that? No. We should just embrace the fact that I
Yes.
screwed up.
It's okay.
It's
No,
okay.
We all make mistakes.
You have 2 names.
Yes.
It's better than
It's
one.
a beautiful name.
Thank you.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, it is a beautiful name, Cecilia. So, Cecilia,
Mhm.
what is the difference, like, in your mind between like Norway and here?
There are a lot of things, really. I would have to agree with Sofia. The educational system is quite different because we're a lot more theoretical, as Sofia says, and we're in
More
this
academic
more
focused.
academic bubble.
This
Almost.
is the right word.
academic. Yeah, not so
Academic,
much
yeah.
theoretical.
I would say it's much more serious in a
Right.
sense. And
Yeah, that's what I-
different here. And
Yeah.
I really like that here you could be more open to be more creative and have more freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you learn the best. Probably not the most, but the best. And I think that's what's important.
So your experience here, are you able to like why did you guys want to do it in the first place? Did you guys feel like you needed that creative freedom, or you just wanted to experience something different? Just like, let's see what it is.
Who goes first? Okay. I'll pass you the ball. Like, you spoke, I spoke.
Okay. Okay.
I have the answer also for this question because it's something that everybody has asked me, like at school. Everybody asks an exchange student, why are you here? Why are you
Yeah.
away from your
Exactly.
friends, family, and all your life?
Exactly.
My answer is that I feel that the world is too big to just see a little part of it. So
Right.
if you have like the possibility to explore it, you have to go. Because as I was saying before, I'm learning so much new stuff. I've been here for like 1 month and a half, and I think I've been learning way more things than I've learned like in 1 year in Italy. Because when you go to a different place, you open your mind, everything's new. So it's just a new lesson at school. Like,
Is it
So-
overload?
mhm.
Is it a little bit overload? Like do you feel overwhelmed a little bit sometimes? Like,
You are vulnerable.
oh my God, because you have to be on.
Sure.
You have
Yeah.
to always be on. You have to be. Do you feel like
Especially the first weeks.
do you have to be playing? Do you feel like you're playing a part a little bit? Like you have to play a little bit of a part, or no? To fit
All
in?
of that.
We
To
all-
fit in.
Like when I worked in corporate America, I had to play a part, and it was like like a little bit, draining.
hmm
But I'm just wondering for you guys, do you feel like you could be totally like, here's who I am, bam, maybe. I'm just curious. Do you know what I mean? Do you feel like you're playing
Yeah.
a part? Like I have to like be all happy because they're expecting me to be this like,
No, I know what you mean, but-
bubbly person from Italy or something, or
Mhm. I don't think it's about America.
No.
Like every time you go to a new place, you can expect things to be just as you left your home. So sometimes you have to change a little bit of your behavior to, not to adapt, just to change also a little bit of your life. You
Right.
can expect. I can have my Italian life in America.
were you
So-
ready for that, or you knew like, okay, it's gonna be, or you were like, when you got here, you're like, holy crap, I had no idea it was going to be this much change, or you were ready.
Good question.
Cecilia.
Yes, that's
These-
me.
Well, you guys, oh my God. Can you learn everyone's name?
Not everyone's.
We can
I
try.
want to be mean.
Yeah.
Not everyone's.
What do you do when you don't know someone's name? Do you just go, hey, what's up? Or you just ignore them?
No.
Try to say hello and
Yeah.
maybe ask them to remind me again.
Right.
Oh, people are way more open than I think in Europe. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
Right.
at
That's
school,
what I like.
when I don't know, you're wearing a nice outfit. Lots of people come to you saying, "Oh, I like your dress. I like how your style. I like
Wow.
everything." They compliment you a lot, or and they
But
come
not
up to
not in
you.
Italy.
They talk to you. They want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I think in Europe, I'm talking about Italy and Norway because we spoke about that thing together. So sorry if I talk a little bit also about Norway.
I agree.
It's not that open. Like, yeah, it's not that they're mean.
Yeah, no, I
They
get
just
it.
don't come out so easily to you. Yeah.
I don't think there's any good or bad. It's
No,
just
no.
different. Every culture is different, and then it comes with pros and cons. Hey, you could be strong academically, but here you could be a little more creative. But which one's better? I don't know which one's better. I think it's actually, ideally, I would love, probably most parents would say, I'd love my kids to start with strong academics and then open up their brain, which is what Miles Davis did. Like, he first learned the academics and the theory, and then he went like, okay, now I'm going to open my brain and do whatever I want.
This is probably what we're doing also right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
After lots of years of
Yeah.
academics,
Absolutely.
now a little bit
'Cause
breath of air.
academically,
That's
can I
important.
ask you, is it that
That's
challenging academically here for you compared to Norway?
Challenging academically.
Or is it like, oh my God, this is like a cakewalk. I'm going to have so much fun this year. Is that the feeling?
being honest,
Yeah.
it's academically it's easier, but
Like, how much easier? Be honest. Like, on a scale of, okay, like Norway being whatever, a 10. What's the LA, the Calabasas High School level of difficulty compared to Norway?
I would say that it's around 5, maybe 6.
Wow. So
Ooh.
50%.
Yes. I think
Brutal.
also the
She's
Sorry,
the
America.
learning from outside of school is
Yeah.
important as
Hey.
well.
Yes. Yes. I know. Say it like it is. Again, that leaves more room for creative thinking, right? It's true, because
It's all
if
about
you're
that.
doing a lot of rote academic stuff and memorizing a lot more, there's a lot more memorizing, which is great for your brain cells, they say, to connect the neurons, create new neuron paths and all that stuff, I guess.
It's
right?
my brain workout. I
It's
don't
the
work
workout.
out my body. I work out
Exactly.
my brain.
That's the
Exactly.
thing. It makes you more sharp. That's why, who knows what's the right and wrong? It's probably a mix of both, and follow yourself. If you love something, learn more about it. If you're into academics, be an academic. If you're a doer, an artist, just lean into that. Lean into whatever you want to do. So do you guys know what you want? You kind of said you wanted to be a
I love to become or a
Physicist.
mathematician or an astrophysics. Anyways, in the
astrophysicist.
astrophysicist. Yeah, sorry about the word.
What does an astrophysicist specifically do? Wow, that's hard to say.
I
what
think we
does-
can both talk about that because I know that's part of also her dream. We
So
share a
both
dream.
of you are going to be
Yes.
astrophysicists.
Maybe
Uh,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Why?
Why?
I mean, you
Why for
want.
each of
I
you?
think you really want.
Okay, I think because of a mix of two of my biggest passion. Like, one is math. I love math, and the reason why I love math is because it's perfect. I don't get why people say math is hard, math is awful. I like the way math is that perfect. Like, you study a rule, you apply that, it can be wrong.
You're a
It's
math
just like that.
artist. You have
And-
to find your art. You're a math artist. Like, you find beauty in art, like an accountant that loves accounting.
I see math
finds beauty in
everywhere I go.
numbers, yeah.
Like, the word is math for me.
Because the world is math.
yeah.
There's ridiculous amounts of things that you understand through math.
And then, as I was saying
Shapes
before,
and- yeah.
like, the world is too big to just see a small part. And I
Right.
think the same thing about the universe. So the universe is too big to just see the world. So I want to
Right.
mix math and space.
You
And the
guys
perfect mix is
together,
astrophysics, I think. Yeah.
you guys
I
together could
agree.
be famous astrophysicists. Hard to say.
We could
Yeah.
be that.
We're gonna work together.
We're gonna be
Serious.
that. But at the same time, I think
Yeah.
it's
You
also
guys are very good to like. You guys are very different, but like.
Oh, we are the
Oh, we've
opposite.
heard.
Yeah.
We are the
Yes.
opposite.
very
but
opposite,
Yes.
but like what's the word?
connection.
Yeah. I
Opposites
forgot the
attract,
word. Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
When
opposites
talking
attract.
about
Yeah. Not opposites in like wavelength, because it's like opposites in like strengths and weaknesses. I think because that's what
we
that
have
represents.
so many difference. She loves sports.
Exactly.
I hate sports.
But I agree, because when you talked about maths, I was thinking
We have
that
some strong connection. We have few connection, but really strong. I think.
yes.
On
But
some
not
topics.
every astrophysicist needs to be super leaning math strong, because there's other elements of being an astrophysicist, like the theory.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that
just
if you just want to be math strong, you have to be a mathematician. Being astrophysics means that you have to mix math with creativity and
yes. Yeah, like
See
Einstein.
outside.
Wasn't
Mm.
Einstein an astro, or was he? I mean, he was a theorist.
oh, it was a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whatever.
He was
he
a lot of
wanted-
He
I
was
don't
a
think
lot
you
of
could label him,
yes.
but that type of thing. Like he's more of a theorist. He might not have been like math strong. He might have just been like theory strong. Like, wow, what if he could imagine things that other people couldn't imagine?
I think
in
so
his mind.
too, because I think that when you were talking about maths and how everything is perfect, I think that it's really the opposite. I like to go outside of the lines, outside of the formulas. They all have, you all are taught the same formulas. This is how you're supposed to do it, and I like when you can go outside of the formulas and
But don't
just
you
go,
like the fact that you can explain everything through math? This is like the perfect part for me.
I like
you can
that
explain
part.
everything.
But at the same time, there are a lot of things you can't explain.
I'm gonna explain them. This is the goal.
Okay.
We'll see.
I love that. Because the dichotomy of it. Oh my god! It was almost like we wrote a script, and that was like we're opposites, and then you're like, math is perfect, the essence of it, which sounds so great, and then she's like, well, actually, it could also be the opposite. That's what's so great about math.
yeah.
You can't. It's never ending. They don't really have all the answers to everything yet, but it explains so much. So you're both right, but you're like you're coming at it from completely different perspectives, which is how you can see the full picture. Only if you come at it from all the perspectives can you see reality the most, I think.
See, I told you that we are the opposite. On
Right.
some topics, we are.
But understanding each other, and you can paint a more clear picture together.
I think it completes the picture.
Yeah, interesting. You know what I was telling Josh? I'm realizing you really need like the 3 C's to like do what you really want in this game, and it's courage to get through the fear, because you guys were nervous coming on, so it's not that you have to get rid of the fear, it's that you have to have the courage to overcome the fear, right? Clarity, where are you going? Like if you're kind of confused, just keep finding it, which by the way, unless you really are clear, don't sign up for a 4-year college program and give somebody money and dedicate until you get clear. So go work in an astrophysics lab for 6 months to go, oh my God, I want to do that. So figure out clear on what you want to do, which might be like a brand who are you, what's your identity? You have to figure out who you are first to
Mhm.
get clarity. It's not that easy.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel
it took
that
me a long time.
astrophysics are not just nerds that stay at their desk.
Right,
You can do a lot of stuff.
right.
Mm.
So courage, clarity, and hold on, it'll come to me. Confidence.
CCC.
That's the key.
Confidence. Because if you don't believe or have faith in yourself, you're not going to do it.
They are.
Okay, so tell us.
Who I am?
Yes.
Okay, so you know now that I'm Cecilia.
Yes. I don't know that.
Um,
Thank you.
and who that
Let's
is.
make that clear.
That's the big question,
Yeah.
And I think a big part of going here was to try to answer that question.
Really? Is that what drove kind of your coming here? Because we didn't really get into that, I think, all the way.
No, I don't
with
think
you.
so.
Like, why did you do that? Is that why you came on the exchange program?
It was a big part of it, yes.
Why?
Because
Is it there's something you have to get away from, or you just wanted to learn, challenge yourself?
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Definitely challenged myself because I knew that I could be more. And in order to do that, to be more myself, or to just be more, I needed new things. Like you said, that it's new things are exercise for the brain.
Oh, absolutely. You don't grow when you're comfortable. I mean,
Exactly.
it's been said so many times, but it's true. Like,
And that's why it's also good to change our routine due to a
Exactly.
new country.
That's why we're here.
you have to enjoy. And like you said, like, grow your mind. And it's like, it's limitless, really, mostly limitless what you could do in this experience. I mean, or if you don't want to believe it's limitless, then believe that you are definitely the one that can limit yourself more than anything else in this world. Even if you don't think it's limitless, you're the one that's going to limit yourself. Where do you see yourself going?
I see myself, it's not like one dream. It's, as I was telling you, a big dream, like an open dream. My goal, my dream is to do something useful for the world. I still don't know in how, where, when, and that's it. My goal is to do something useful. Just not live my life, but live my life for a purpose. So that's it. Yeah.
That's great. I love that. No, that makes sense. So then you use that as your North Star, like your guiding light, kind of guiding star, and then your decisions are based on that.
Which is your dream?
Oh. I want to, like Sofia, I will contribute something positive to the world.
Do you know in what way? Like, do you want to like help the environment? Do you want to like end war? Do you want to help children? I'm just curious. Do you guys have anything like that's like an obsession for you?
As many as possible.
As many people as possible.
Also as many ways as possible.
Yes.
Anyway, okay.
Yes.
But I think that I'll speak also for Cecilia. We're gonna find out like during our life,
Yes.
which is the perfect way for us, for the people we are, to help the world.
I love that. I don't honestly. It's hard for me to say, "Oh, I'm going to do it in this way." I'm just open to opportunities that fit what I want to do, and then sometimes you get drawn to things as you go, and you don't know, so you should be open to that. The key is that that's a good guiding light, because opportunities that when people come your way that you connect with in that way that are like-minded, that's the networks you need to kind of build on. Like these people you're meeting here, like you're also making really powerful connections here. I'm just saying, Woodland Hills, Calabasas, Hidden
Being
Hills.
here is proof. Being here with you
mean,
is proof.
He's giving me too many ideas on my future. That's
Look,
not
if
good.
you
You're giving me too
if you
many
want to help the world,
ideas.
you're going to need capital. That's
Yeah.
just the reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a money hungry person, but like I'm a business person too.
It's true.
Once you start doing the budget, you go, oh shit, no wonder 90% of businesses fail in year one. You need a lot of capital to make it, especially if you want to like do something super like big and positive.
Maybe when
I'm
you
going
start
to start
putting,
a business.
yeah.
You guys want to start a business? You want to?
Yes.
I know. I think that when you put money in your dream, they become true. Like
Yeah.
this
Right.
is
It's like fuel in your car.
the
It's like,
biggest difference. Yeah.
you could have the greatest design for the car, but if you don't have gas, what are you
Mhm.
gonna do with it? Just look at it. You get gas to go somewhere. Take other people there. You need capital. But people are willing to put capital into an amazing idea. And I've lived that because I worked in corporate raising money. And so that helped me go, oh, like I wouldn't have known that people have that much. People have so much money that they want to put into great ideas, by the way. It's just you need to get to a point where it's such an idea that through your experience and authentic like passion for them to go, oh my God, you got something real there. But that could be now.
Could you tell us some characteristics of the things that have stuck and that have lasted?
Like business ideas?
Yes,
or
that you have seen, and then you go, this is it. What do they have that others don't?
an amazing story for sure. Everything is story. And for you to have an amazing story nowadays, you have to like be authentic. You have to share an authentic story. You can craft it because everyone has many stories they could tell. It could be a story of abuse. It could be a story of particular struggle. It could be a story of just you as a lifestyle and your whole life and kids and this, you know, but you have to choose. And this is not, I'm like plagiarizing from all the masters that I've heard talking about these things and coming from corporate and all these trainers that would talk about stories. So I'm not saying anything that I created, by the way. But it's, you know, everything's about story. Like Coca-Cola is a story.
Yeah. Also
They're selling
McDonald's, everything.
happiness. Yeah. They're selling happiness. They're not selling syrup. It's like this high fructose syrup that has water mixed that's super fucking sweet and addictive. Like, come drink it. Just do it. That wouldn't sell as well as like open happiness and drink happiness and share a Coke. And like that's how it is. You know, it's manipulation. But it's kind of like it's a reverse effect of like our progress. Like we've learned so much about the human brain that we've learned to manipulate the shit out of it when it's bad for us.
Sure.
The people that are selling Coke and McDonald's don't feed that shit to their kids because they know it's bad. So it's like, I don't feel like that should be legal. Honestly, like that's not right. Like government to me should be like guiding parents, right? They shouldn't allow behavior in the house that leads to things you don't want for your children. So like letting companies peddle shit to you that they wouldn't give their own children, that should be a red flag where they go to like common sense court and they go like, hey, like, shouldn't you guys like sell shit that you would give your kids? Like that seems like what you would do when you're living in a village and feeding your fellow villagers, right? We're in medieval times still. Look at what's happening in the world.
Yeah, like I've heard that this is the medieval time of technology and internet.
Like even before it's not the technology's fault. I'm saying we need to like maybe use technology to like level it up to another where there's no like thirst, like lack of clean water. There's no like a food and lack of opportunities so that like we can have a healthy, everyone's like contributing.
I think we have a lot of potential and we also have the opportunities, I think, if we are just, as you say, willing to really go for it.
Right.
But that's scary. It is, but that's why it's valuable.
But it's there.
Yes.
And great minds should do something about it because why not? And you can have a successful business and be, you know, conscious. And actually that's really good for business. For the first time in history, I think, being authentic and being real is what the investors are looking for.
Like I feel that you become successful when you really like find yourself and you fit in what you are.
Give the lady a prize. Find the me before you find the we. Don't try to get married or find a company to work or until you know who you are. Even a university. I mean, my kids are probably going to college because they want the experience. They want to party. They want to network. So I'm like, dude, that's a good point. Because you don't want to be the old kid in college. Like you're 35 going back.
No.
So
that would be cool. I would like partying with an old man. I don't know. It would be a really cool man.
Right? I think so too. I'm like, we still go party. We just went. Dude, Josh is my age and I'm his age. Is really how we act. I'm not even kidding. He was just saying like he's the old, even though I know I'm old, I'm not saying I'm not old. I get it. But like we went to the like sunset room and partied till 4 a.m. Wow. And it was like literally a hip hop video in there. Am I wrong? Joints were ablaze. Just saying it was like a hip hop video at all times. And we like, it's fun. I want to have fun. I love when people party.
Never stop partying.
Yeah. My grandpa danced till he was like, couldn't move anymore. So
I bet it's really cool.
Yeah. My family taught me to party and I'm honoring the tradition, bringing it to the lives of, I don't know, slightly homely Americans. because I'm not really. I was born in Ukraine. I came when I was 4, so I'm an immigrant. By the way, I sound American and I look American, but I was raised by Soviet Union communist.
Wow, you're the opposite.
Do
You know what I'm saying?
Do you, in any aspects of your life, do you notice that?
Notice like I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely very.
Like, do you feel the influence from
Yes,
the Soviet
yes.
Union?
My dad was
From
a
your
very
history.
dominating person, so I got into a lot of fights growing up. Like, I had like a very colorful past. Like, and before I found emotional intelligence that I'm seeking and improving in now. Think about it. The key is to be selfish. I love people for selfish reasons because it feels good when they love me back, and you have to do what's best for you so you can give those around you your full potential. You can be happy. If you're in a bad mood because you hate what you do, you're going to treat people badly. It's just hard not to.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is more than half your waking hours. Think about this. You're only awake like 18 hours a day at most, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working 10 hours a day, that's more than half.
Exactly.
But here's the worst part. They're the best 10. You just fucking threw them away. Being in an accounting office all day, coming home for those 8 you have left, tired, you know what I mean? Like
Maybe you have to keep
miserable
working.
and drained from the horrible 10 hours. You're not energized from a crappy job. You're drained from that. Dude, it was my personal prison. Like, it was like, I felt like Nelson Mandela. Okay, that's terrible because I don't want to compare it to that, but I'm saying like, it was a personal hell that I created.
A nightmare.
That I thought I couldn't escape because I kept thinking nobody likes their job. You just got to suck it up. That's what everyone said to me. So
That's one of my biggest fear. Like doing
Yes.
something that maybe I don't really like and getting stuck in that. No.
you know, I don't like to live in fear, but that is a great fear to have.
Why? Is it a great fear?
It's a great fear to have to never do that, to
Oh,
never
yeah.
accept
Okay.
because you're gonna trust me. I also didn't have confidence in myself. Like I thought, what if I'm not? I got a degree,
Mhm.
and I got a job, and they're paying me with benefit. What if I can't make money doing something else? I don't know. Now I'm like, that's silly. I would have killed it in so many things, but I didn't understand like the world, so it's scary. It's scary to like believe in yourself when you've never done it. So you're just telling yourself what you're gonna do, but you know there's a chance you're not gonna do it because this game is brutal. This game is the fucking hardest.
You see why I like math? Because it's
Right.
something sure.
Mm.
Exactly.
I have to be
Exactly.
honest. That's
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear, to be in that prison you speak of.
Yes, it was horrible. I'm open if you want to ask me any questions. I just don't want to
Yes.
always. I end up talking about it a lot. It is such a big influence in why I'm doing a podcast in the first place because I so want to help young people not do that, and I feel like this is the perfect age to catch. Not you guys. I feel like you guys are way beyond me when I was your age.
We,
Like,
I don't know
light
for
years.
Sofia, but I learned the hard way.
I know, but you're young, right? I'm not saying you don't have a lot to learn. You're just gonna be further ahead sooner than when you start later and you create a life with responsibilities, kids, a mortgage. It becomes very slow to get out. You can still do it. If you're middle-aged, you could do it. But I'm just being honest, it's hard as hell. So you don't have to do it. I'm not judging anyone. But when you're young, it's all here. So it's not like you don't usually have 4 kids at that point. Usually. Some do. Don't let that stop you. But let's talk about the ones that don't. Like, you have really just, you can go anywhere in the world.
I
So
feel
that's why
that-
you have to believe in yourself.
I feel that I have to take some of your advices now at 17, but I want to come back like to you like in 3 or 4 years in my 20s.
Yes.
I want to get more advices.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
every 4 year, prepare some advices, please.
Seminar every 4 years.
Just if they work.
But I think that's
Yeah.
why the
Let's do a teen seminar. You guys want
Yes.
to organize a teen seminar? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to be of service. Seriously, like, if you guys don't have questions, fine. But if you do, like Cody's friends all like hang with me. Like his buddy went with us to like
No, we have a question. You know that we were like learning,
Yeah.
so
Mm,
our
yes.
way to learn is asking questions.
Yes.
It's actually, I used to want to go talk at high schools. I actually would love to go to like underprivileged schools. We want to do a lot of homeless.
Come to us,
Work.
Camino.
Yes. Why
Yeah.
don't you?
I'm down
Please show up in my government
because I was
class.
chicken to do it before. Honestly, I had a group together that was a bunch of artists, free art, and a bunch of other artists. Shout out that we wanted to do it, and then I honestly did get busy, but it's an excuse because if I really wasn't scared to do it, I would have said, "Let's do it."
Mhm.
We had high schools we contacted that were like underprivileged that are like, oh my God, nobody wants to come talk. If you guys, we'll even send buses, or we'll even bus our kids. We have bus budget, but nobody wants to come to the school to talk.
Mhm.
It's kind of fucked up that I didn't do it. I
That's
guess.
sad.
Now I feel bad because that was just me being. It's not that I didn't want to do it. I was just like, let me get ready. What am I gonna say? And then I'd say, I know what I'm gonna say, but yeah, we'll do it later, and then later never comes. But anyway.
You still have time.
Yeah.
You still do.
You told us that you never stop learning, so
Never
Exactly.
it's valid also for you, not just for
Well,
us.
now you're making me
Absolutely.
think about it because you guys are saying no, but seriously. So back to like that, like this is honestly like the school system, in my opinion, around the world is very, very broken because it's archaic, and we have the technology to fix it, and that's why I'm talking about it. I don't want to like complain. I want to fix it,
Mm.
but the way to fix it is, I think Steve, I don't, maybe people are already working on it, but using technology, using AI. Making customized learning programs to learn about you and go, oh, you're interested in astrophysics. Stop wasting, people's time with calculus that want to be, painters. Like, wow, you're so prolific in painting, so let's put you on that track.
Mhm.
And then maybe kids wouldn't hate school.
Yeah.
I think
Come on.
that's what's wrong
Don't
with
they all
the
hate school? Like,
education
90%.
system. We don't learn
90%.
emotional intelligence.
yeah, they don't. Okay, I have a whole school system laid out in my head.
Right.
Like, I think it's ridiculous. Like, elementary school should be like really all about emotional intelligence. Like,
Mm.
you shouldn't be able to finish school without knowing how to have a relationship. The point is, they never taught you how to be in a relationship, which affects your business relationships, affects your
Everything.
which they should teach you very young instead of they're doing homework with the kids, like rudimentary academic. I get it. I get that it's good to learn basic math and English before you graduate at some point so you can like make change. Okay, but it's more important for that child to learn social skills and how to like get friends, how to express themselves so they can say, hey, I don't like that.
And
Or
also,
meditation or
everyone
to
don't
calm
learn
yourself.
the same way.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all test.
We learn different.
The
This is
public
the problem.
schools, dude, I've seen it. Test, homework till 2 a.m. Yay! You're making my son freaking color a geography map with blue, green, and yellow till 2 a.m. Okay,
And remember that you guys have like less stats in the homework than we have. So
I know.
just
Yeah.
try to imagine
And I'm
the
not saying-
academical school
Right.
system for
And I think
kids.
that's why we're so critical of ourselves as this generation. I don't know if you've ever felt that.
afraid to make a
You've
mistake.
probably done that, haven't you, Sophia?
Yeah, of
You're
course.
afraid to be creative because you're going to be wrong, and
You
someone's going to
judge
say, "What are you
yourself
doing? That's
and-
wrong. You don't do that."
That's
Which is
because
not
the
healthy.
academical type of learning,
Right,
they teach you something and you have to do it that way.
right.
So if you don't do it that way, you're
You're
wrong.
wrong.
And if you're wrong, you're bad.
Right.
So there's
Right.
no time or way to try out other paths, other ways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It's-
There's no such thing as bad, first of all. So you should never even tell your child they're bad.
no.
Hey, would try this way. Oh, that's an interesting way to do. There's ways to do it, and this problem with the school system is going to take. I don't know, because it's also a problem with like belief systems too. Like
Mhm.
people have to like believe in a certain way to teach their children a certain way, but the school system basically creates a situation, and the economic system that encourages people to not do what they're best at. Like if you're intelligent and you have like money and status, you're usually encouraging your children to become doctors, lawyers, or something prestigious. But they can't all be really doctors and lawyers, can they? Like maybe they can all pass the test and they can all be smart enough to be that. But does that mean they're going to be happy?
Mm.
And that's why I
No.
see doctors and lawyers committing suicide and being like depressed because they're stuck and they've been doing it 25 years and they're like, I just want to paint or I want to like design dresses.
Yes.
I want to be a dress designer and I got to do case study
Mm.
18 hours a day.
I think our
Whereas
system just
there's a
encourages
lawyer
it.
that would have been a lawyer but didn't have the connections and the money and said, I can't go to law school. I just got to go to work. That would have been a
Yeah.
great lawyer or a great doctor that could have operated on me. Maybe wasn't the highest IQ, but loves being a doctor, is studying all the latest techniques and has a successful surgery. Whereas the dude that, forced himself because his parents said, you better be a fucking doctor or you're not my son. You're a disgrace. Everybody's a doctor in our family. Then they're operating on my knee after drinking all night, depressed and suicidal. Probably it's not going to go very well. So it's like not good this is not how you build a good team, right? This is not how you build a tribe. You want your kids to do what they're best at so that the tribe can flourish and be happy. That's why I like the Smurf Village. Everyone's like doing what they're good at. Handy Smurf, you know what I mean? Jokey Smurf. Everyone's like doing what they found and everyone's encouraged to be themselves. They don't tell, Jokey Smurf not to tell jokes. They say, okay, you're a comedian, so entertain us then. When the kids are loud in class, they're like punishing them. You're stupid.
Yeah.
That could be the next great entertainer to take our minds off of, our troubles. And you just basically shut them up,
Maybe our goal in life is to change the school system and we don't
It
know
is.
about yet.
Sophia,
Maybe
we will.
we're going to leave the astrophysics
I'm
path
down.
for the school system change path.
Who knows?
Are you with
And
me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We'll change it.
Okay, we're going to
I'm
change.
with you guys.
We can
if
do
we
both.
need to do
You'll do
it.
seminars. You'll
Yeah, I'm
you'll
ready.
teach them.
And start schools. Like I want to have capital though.
Yes.
I'm doing things to grow my businesses. I'm launching a whiskey brand. When I'm in a position, I really want to do like things like that,
Mhm.
like help. Let's fix the homeless situation as much as we can. I'm not saying it'd be perfect, but are we really doing the best we can?
No, you have to try anyway.
Come on now.
Mm.
There's a solution for everything. So I think we're just not putting our heads together. And ignoring it is easy. Like, let's just ignore it, step over it. They're like stepping over people. You can't ignore that are we not doing something wrong? Are we not fucking up?
No, we are.
Are we serving our
Yes.
citizens? This is ridiculous. Come on now. Are we not embarrassed that the aliens are laughing at us eating popcorn right now? They would have already come and said and saved the world from, hunger, but they're like, whoa, wait a second. This is good. This is better than anything on our alien stations. Like, are you seeing what they're doing? This is amazing how they're treating each other with all this technology and, automation. We can filter water and make clean water. And yet not everyone has clean water. I don't know. Seems like it's solvable somehow, right? Just gotta, maybe we're there because now the world has really changed. 2020 awoke a lot of people. A lot of young people are like, I want to make a change. You never heard that as much before.
I can't speak for the both of us, but
Do it anyway.
2020 was a year of change.
I think you can speak for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Not just me, not just you,
It was
everybody.
just a realization
Yeah.
that something needed to be done, and it was extremely hard. It still is, but it's as much as it's hard, it's also necessary, even if you don't see it right away.
Right. So many people it was a really tough year. So many people either suffered or really blossomed. Like where they're like, it was the best year. Other than like really tough struggles and challenges, some of the best things that ever happened to them happened. It's been interesting. And
Yeah.
you guys are like living it in high school, which is crazy. Like that's what we talked a lot to Cody and his friends about that. Like what changed? Because they were in 10th grade and all of a sudden they come back, they're seniors.
Yeah, you guys skipped 2 years of high school.
2 years.
Uh.
He was halfway through his sophomore year.
Mhm.
All of the last sophomore part and all the junior year was remote, which wasn't really school.
Yeah,
They weren't even learning.
we had the chance to go to school a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't
So
you
if-
didn't have to skip it as much.
We still quarantined, we still had the lockdown, but we didn't skip 2 entire years of high school.
No.
If I'd skipped to the entirety of the year of high school, I'd be so upset. Yeah.
Well, they started, a lot of the kids started sneaking out and hanging out, because they were like hungry for togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
We're very mentally unstable right now as a animal, as like a species. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A
We
lot
are.
of like teen suicides are up. A lot of mental health issues are up because people were like here. I know people that were stuck alone, that are single, that or were also scared. So they were like, "Well, I'm just gonna stay home," and they didn't see anyone for like a year. It's crazy.
I think that's when you get the realization, as we talked about
Yeah.
earlier, that life's really too short, and that you have to try to find the courage. That's really what I found when coming here. And after 2020, obviously, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
It was.
What's your big what like struggle have you gone through?
Struggle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you. So before coming here, for a lot of years, I had depression, like you talked about.
Aggression,
No, depression.
depression.
Yes, depression, and that was definitely a struggle. It's
Like for how long?
it's almost like you can't explain it because, like you said, it's something you have to experience for yourself because people wouldn't necessarily believe you if you told them, and that's what's so difficult about it. You can tell
Because
them,
it's subjective in a way.
yes,
And they'll say, "Oh, just come on, just cheer up."
exactly. I mean, it's something
Then
you
you feel silly because you're like, now they think I'm like weird because I'm right. Like,
exactly. It's just hopefully a lot of people won't experience it. Hopefully,
how
But-
long did you have? Like, did you struggle with that
for 5 years.
for 5 years?
Yes,
Wow.
but
Can I just say that you're super brave for saying that?
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I really appreciate you saying that because like that could help a lot of people.
Exactly, that's why I
Because you look
said it.
so perfect. You
Thank
do.
you.
People see
I'm
you
far
guys
from
and go,
perfect.
"Oh, they got it made." Norway, Italy, come over here.
Mm.
You guys are pretty. You guys are doing well in school. You have these big astrophysicist
Mm.
like dreams, and you're gonna change the world and save the world. But then,
No, there's so much
Uh,
going on under
yes, I
there.
mean,
but
unlike
truth
maths,
is, everyone
nothing's
struggles.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, honestly. I was feeling like maybe there's something, but that's like, wow. I'm like blown away that you would even like say it to and admit it because it's just hard to like admit things like that. It's like such a vulnerable thing to say because now you open yourself up for criticism, which by the way is bullshit. Because anybody that would criticize is ignorant. So it's not something you really should worry about. Why do you think you struggled with it? Do you think you know why, or was it just something you didn't know, couldn't put a finger on it?
I think there were many things contributing to it. I think it could be genetic. I think that depression can be genetic,
Yep.
but I also
Predisposed.
think it's for me. I really think, like we talked about the educational system, that we're constantly being assessed and really just judged, and then it's put in our minds
Too much
that
pressure.
that's something we're supposed to do to
Or you're not good enough.
see ourselves through a critical lens.
If that's the story you've been told and you believe that your worth depends on making the grade, then you're going to be devastated. I understand. Here's the great news. 99% of this is the story you tell yourself.
We hope.
Like,
We
meaning,
can hope.
I'm not saying you can tell yourself a story that let's say your IQ is somewhere where it's not. I'm saying like the way you experience like negativity that's happened or things, you can also retell the story to yourself. It's challenging though. I understand if it's something you can't really control. So I'm not trying to diminish like, oh, you could have just told yourself a different story. I'm just saying how powerful that is too. That if you can create anxiety by having expectations that are completely unrealistic. If my parents tell me every day that I'm a nothing if I don't do X and Y and I just can't do those things, then I'm gonna walk around depressed, feeling like I'm a piece of shit. I think if our society was healthier, it probably it wouldn't come out as much. Because probably we're all different and we are predisposed. Like I'm predisposed to having attention deficit disorder. But if I have like 3 projects, I'm good. Oh, I'm like satisfied. So it's not like I have to be someone different. I just gotta put myself in a situation.
And that's why the school
thrive.
system should be a little bit more different, a little
Yes.
bit more dynamic.
Customized.
Because we are all different, so we have to find like a better way for who we
Yes.
Mm.
Like, oh, this student like responds very like negatively to like pressure.
are.
Some people are super competitive. For example, we interviewed Paulina, the Machina, soon to be the world's, or she is maybe the world's greatest trainer. Anyway, but she was saying how, oh my God, I totally lost my train of thought. Paulina the Machina. Pressure, yes. She was an amazing track star, right?
Mm.
But and was competing from 7, winning competitions. But she always knew she wanted to be a trainer, and that was her dream. And it's like, because usually kids want to win gold medals. But she goes, you know what? I didn't like the pressure of competing. That wasn't for me. But she loves training athletes to win. But she doesn't want to compete. So you have to know that. But she was being pushed to like compete because you're so talented. Like you need to like go win. Come on, be the best. Why can't you be like these other people that are like going for it? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if your parents aren't emotionally intelligent, like my parents, especially my father, sorry, if he's watching, is not emotionally intelligent. I'm sorry, he's not. I had to grow up with that and relearn all that shit when I was in my 30s. Just saying, because the school didn't. Plus, I wouldn't have believed the school. I was listening to my parents, so it's very tough. But now that you're an adult and you're seeing, wow, there's different kinds of parents too. That's another thing. Like, oh, like when you're growing up in your household, you think, oh, this is how it is. This is how people are talked to, and you yell at people. That's what I thought. I thought that was normal. But then you start I started questioning everything. Like, shit, like, is that real? And then you could retell all the things that you told yourself before, through time, over time. So how about now? Are you suffering still? Do you still struggle?
Some times are, of course, harder than others, but I'm doing better now than I think I've ever done. And I think coming here was a big part of that, actually. That's why I needed the change, because I needed to see something else than my own mind.
Right.
I needed
A different perspective. Goes a long way.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're
That's
welcome.
like probably like such a big step, like
It is.
for your healing.
It
Because it's
is.
okay. It's totally okay. For sure.
My best advice, for what I can tell from 17 years ago, so maybe it's not the best advice everybody's gonna receive, but it's still something, I think, is that you have to really understand who you are. Because when you understand who you are, what are your basement, like the basement of the person you are, then you can do everything. So first thing is yourself. When you know who you are, then you're on the way. That's it. Short, quick, and then you have it.
That was great.
Oh, I don't know if I
wait,
can
you
reach. Now I
I
have
don't know how
to.
to do it.
I have to. I have to now.
I can connect.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
connect.
you're connected.
Boom.
Okay, thank
Perfect.
Great.
We'll do one
Great.
later. So, any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me?
I think we have too many questions.
Too many
This
questions.
is
We can leave
problem.
it. We can marinate on the question.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you I have to come back because you gave me so many information that my brain is not, right now is overloaded. Is that you say that?
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
do that.
Yeah. So I have to interiorize everything
Yes.
and come back with new stuff, new
Anytime.
questions.
Anytime. Good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you. Yes, your first
you.
podcast, amazing. Oh yeah, Art God,
Oh,
bro,
yes.
it's the moment.
bro.
So
Oh my God, the
excited.
best parts.
you like to do the reveal?
I kind of would. Can I see it? Wow.
No way! It's like a mirror.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Show us, show us.
Gestures, how
Wow.
standing.
Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.